Get nice and hydrated. Get myself a little stretch while everything warms up and starts syncopating to all of my respective sources. All right. Chat is here. Spectre25 with the first chat. Good morning. Samantha shortly after. And Phil, thank you so much indeed. It is a very special live stream today because this is the first ever Dadvocate live stream where I have 500,000 subs. That's crazy. We did it. We hit 500K subs. I only just made my YouTube channel in maybe 2022, maybe even just 2023 when I started like really uploading, but I know that it was 2023 that I hit 100,000 and got my play button. That was a huge milestone. A year later, I quit my job. Now, almost a year after that, 500,000? This is crazy, y'all. I mentioned in a short that I made about it to celebrate the big 500K, like as soon as it happened. But that's enough people to fill Madison Square Garden 25 times. I have come a very long way from my days of doing stand-up comedy to like practically empty dive bars with maybe two people listening to me. Holy shit, I will never go back to that life. Much to many of y'all's chagrin, I'm sure. Look, if I had like the right opportunity and I knew that it would be like a good, solid comedy club where people are like really and truly there for dedicated comedy and they understand comedy manners, I think I probably would go back and do another stand-up comedy set, but I don't know, dude. I don't really miss it. I would so much rather just have hundreds of you here unable to heckle me from the comfort of my own living room where I don't have to like drive home 45 minutes at 2 in the morning or some shit. I have very fond memories from my stand-up comedy days. I met a lot of really cool people, but I still don't miss it. I still don't miss it. Anyway, welcome into another Dadvocate stream. I am your host, Lauren. If you're new here, let me do some very, very brief housekeeping and introduction before we just jump right into it. So, I try to keep this a very audio-only friendly stream where we talk about dating, parenting, co-parenting, breakups, and all kind of degeneracy in between, okay? And what I mean by audio-only friendly is even though there are obviously things on screen, I try to make it so that you can actually look away from your screen, look away from your phone. You should be able to listen to this while you're working, while you're taking the dogs for a walk, while you're lifting weights at the gym or going for a run. While we are going to be reacting to some visual things, I will do my absolute best to just verbally describe them to you. Okay, but if there is something that I'm like, you have to see this, I will let you know and try to give you some time to get on back in here so you can take a gander. As for what is on screen, the chat box is on screen. Your chat box messages will be appearing. If you are to do any Twitch cheers, Facebook stars, those appear on screen. But if you really want to make sure that I read your chat, like 100% sure I will notice it, the best way to do that is through YouTube super chats, just because they have them nicely itemized and organized in a way that even if I miss it on screen at the time, I can always go back and read it a little bit later. So that's the best way to get me to notice you, senpai. Otherwise, though, you also don't have to give me any money. You could just enjoy the chat for free. I read plenty of your chats for free, such as right now. Hi, Peter Edwards. Hi, Mark Ronan. Hi, Rob Hellfire from Calgary, Alberta. Oh, hey, that's where Roma Army is from. Say hi to Roma for me if you see her. But also, before we begin, I would just like to thank today's sponsor. You guys, specifically my YouTube members and Patreon members who help support my channel so enormously. You guys know who you are. And if you are considering at all becoming a YouTube member or Patreon member, just know that it comes with early access videos. As in fact, I actually just dropped a new early access video that only YouTube members and patrons have access to right now. It's a follow-up to the nose ring theory that I made, where in this one I elaborate on and explain first love theory and Chad widow theory. And I'm also currently working on a couple new videos regarding the dead bedroom and how to fix it, as well as an explanation of pair bonding. So all things that you will have the first access to if you join either of those. You'll also get, if you join the Patreon, exclusive merch. If you join YouTube, exclusive emojis that only you guys can use during these live streams. But that is enough plugging away. I did notice a couple first super chats. Peter, thank you so much for saying happy 500K. It is a happy one. It is. Actually, almost, I was like, I deserve to treat myself. And I was going to like order out, but then I was like, this is really irresponsible when I still have so much leftover food from Easter. So I did not. I chose responsibility over luxury. And Phil, thank you so much for gifting a membership to John Thomas who received it. Enjoy your early access and exclusive content. There's a lot of good stuff on there. Okay. But let's just jump right into it, I say, okay? Because we're going to be ending the stream around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's in about 2 hours. I oftentimes try to keep it 3 hours just because I love yapping, but there are so many videos that I want to make. The two that I just mentioned, but there are some shorts that I want to cover that I feel really passionate about, and so I'm just like, there's stuff that I want to talk about here, but there's also stuff that I want to talk about here. I'm really grateful to be currently on such a creative high right now, because any of you creatives know it comes and goes. Like, there are some weeks where I have nothing to talk about, and I'm seriously struggling to bring you guys anything. I'm like, I don't even know what to talk about this week. Like, there's nothing that interests me. There's nothing I feel strongly about. And right now there is like too much. I cannot stop writing, but it's a problem that I'm happy to have. So I say let's just try to get through as much debauchery as I have prepared for you as possible. Today's theme of the stream is dating nightmares. We might deviate a little bit here and there and go into some other stuff. Maybe I'll take a wholesome break if we ever get too triggered by anything, but it's mostly going to be dating nightmares. Also, completely unrelated, but I can tell that I did a really good job working out my abs yesterday because it hurts to laugh. That's how I know I'm doing a good job. Anyway, ow. All right, so this first one, before we get into it, I labeled this one, I love reading my notes to myself before I get into it. I put, girlfriend thinks she is a merciful god for barely and only just performatively loving her own boyfriend. Not my briefest of notes to self, but you'll see what I mean. This is posted to r/nicegirls, one of my favorite subreddits. And OP writes, I don't think the person, my girlfriend, who sent me this is bad, but I sense immaturity and not niceness. Am I reading it wrong? Vash Stampede, thank you so much for the super chat and for the reminder to everybody. Yes, true. Everybody like the stream. Do it now before you forget. You know you want to. This reads, I have decided that I should be nice to you again. Not because your love for me is big or I like you that much, but because my love motto is to love with open hands. I'm bad at shutting off. V bad at that. Plus, you're a grown-ass man with common sense, so you know what's good and not. Therefore, I'll try to love you probably at face value more than whatever's surrounding you, because, well, it's nicer to be nice. This reads like both bad AI. It reads like bad AI in which English is not even its first language. Holy hell. I almost feel like I need to read that again, but slower, so that we can point out absolutely every piece of the absurdity going on. I have decided to be nice to you again. Oh wow. That's so kind of you. Okay, I guess I'm done with my you being mean to me punishment. But the reason she's clarifying that the reason she's decided to be nice again is not because his love for her is as big as it should be, or even because she likes him that much. Which, like, wow, what a merciful God to be nice to someone that you don't even like that much, who you're dating. Already, I'd be crashing out, dude. If someone I was dating even implied subtly that they don't like me that much, I would just be like, then why in the ever living fork are you here? Like, it's one thing to be dating someone that you're not in love with yet. We've all been there. It's one thing to love to be dating someone that you don't feel super serious about yet. That's all pretty normal, I would say. But to be dating someone you don't even like, why? What, like, are you just hoping that they'll be able to change your mind? That if you're mean enough, that you'll eventually get them whipped enough to where it will be worth it? Actually, I might be onto something here. But the real reason is not because she thinks he loves her or even because she likes him at all, but because my love motto is to love with open hands. I've never heard that one before. What does loving with open hands mean? It honestly seems transactional, if you know what I mean. You know, to love with open hands. I don't even... Now, why in the hell is my camera doing this? My camera is even crashing out over this one. Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Hands don't even seem like they're playing a factor in this. So she's basically admitting here with I'm bad at shutting off, the bad at that, that she tried being even more of an asshole to him to punish him for something, but apparently she like is having a hard time ignoring the guy she's dating, which, to be fair, this is probably the most relatable part of any of this, because I too have experienced this where like I'll get mad at my husband, I'll be upset with TJ, and I'll be like, ooh, I need to commit. I need to commit to this anger until I feel like there's a resolution, but I'm actually really bad at it. Like, I'll end up still sending him memes, and I'll be like, just because I sent you this funny meme doesn't mean that I'm not mad at you. So that's probably like the most relatable part, though still very unhinged. Plus, you're a grown-ass man with common sense, which... So you know what's good and not. So this is basically, this part is basically her trying to say, you're a grown-ass man, you should know. You should know what my attitude means. You should know what me ignoring you and the way that I treat you really means without me even communicating it. That's a trend that I've noticed. And like, there's a time and place to remind someone that they're a grown-ass adult, right? Like, if someone is behaving incredibly childishly, I think that it's fair to remind them, like, hey, did you know that you're a freaking adult? Like, the other day, someone on my Facebook, and Facebook is like so unhinged, I need to stop feeding the trolls on there, but someone literally hit me with a nana boo boo in a comment. By the way, they were wrong, so it was a very unwarranted nana boo boo, but it was like right after they just finished bragging about how like they have their life together and they make so much money, and I'm like, well, this just goes to show that money can't buy happiness or emotional maturity. Holy shit, camera, why? Why are you doing this? Does it think that Audrey 2 is an actual human face or something? Why, camera? If this keeps happening, I might have to take a break to adjust my settings. I know as it turns out, I microdosed you all before the stream. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I'm so sorry about that. But then finally, we get to, I'll try to love you, probably at face value. So I guess she's like, I'll try to love you on paper so that this can survive socially, I guess. But then she also tries to, like, qualify it as being better than any other love, which, by the way, is an ABUSE tactic. I don't know if you guys know this, but, like, it took me literally getting a brochure of, like, signs you're in an abusive relationship. And like literally by this point I had already been like beaten and knifed by this particular ex, and I still wasn't getting it. I was very young. I was 15, okay? But I get this brochure and it finally starts waking me up because it was saying like more specific things than just the obvious. And like for people who are in like really, really deeply toxic situations, a lot of times they actually can be convinced like, okay, I hit you, but I'm apologizing profusely, so it's not that bad. You know what I mean? And like somehow we believe it. But it wasn't until I read the more specific examples, and one of them was, tells you things like, no one will ever love you as much as I do, or no one will ever love you like I do, or even no one will ever love you. I'm the only one. And I was like, oh, okay, these are very specifically things that are happening to me. So like, this is actually extremely toxic to be like, I guess I'll try to show on paper that I love you, even though I don't really like you, but it's still better than anything else that surrounds you. My guy, don't believe her. This is literally sociopath behavior. This is like the way that people like Ted Bundy would observe other humans and be like, ah, I see. That is how humans like to be treated. So even though I don't want to treat them that way, I have to, as a means to an end. Like, this is pure sociopathy right now. This is completely unhinged. But I have to admit, she did a great job picking her mark, because this guy still seems completely clueless as to what's going on. And yeah, Punslinger, I know this is some crazy lore to just throw out in the middle of a lighthearted stream, but yeah, I did date someone who absolutely stabbed the out of me with a fillet knife. Okay, but like, it's important lore, because there's a lot of people who will be like, you stick up for men? I guess you've just never experienced a man treating you badly. And I'm like, laughs and knife scars. But seriously, this poor guy is like, I'm sensing that she's not being nice, even though she's saying that she's nice. Is she being nice? My guy, no. No. Let's read some of the top comments. I'm having a hard time following what she is getting at, but this feels like a I'm sorry you feel that way versus a real apology situation. Dude, this isn't even an I'm sorry you feel that way. Like, there's not even an apology. She's basically like, I was right to treat you bad, but I'm actually going to show you mercy by not treating you as bad as I could have continued doing. It's like absolute Disney villainry. Dylan is going to be like watching this. Dylan Bowser is just like, oh man, does that make TJ your bard? Oh, 100%. TJ is a hard bard, okay? I'm going to be kind to you, not because I love you or because you deserve it, but because I'm such a wonderful person, is the translation of the first message. Yeah, very valid, very good one, okay? I love this one. It even got an award. Your girlfriend is an asshole. Sincerely, a woman. It's sad that, like, men need other women to clarify when women are being assholes, but I guess that's kind of my job here too. I love this one too. It's like she's talking to a child that's on probation. This feels belittling. And I'll do one more. Whatever the hell that is, no. I want to see if this person responded to any comments or anything. Let's see. He clarifies at one point. Nah, we are both in our 20s. She is a few years younger than me. Surprisingly mature and immature at various stages. I have always known about some degree of immaturity, but lately I am starting to realize narcissistic tendencies. Yeah, I feel like he just doesn't have like the full scope to really look at because I don't even see full narcissism, though there's probably like a Venn diagram between narcissism and sociopathy, but like she seems more like a sociopath than anything. Like she seems like the kind of person who bases her behavior around what she has observed she is supposed to be doing and not based on any kind of moral foundation or like fiber of accountability. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. And she thinks that she's the good guy though, is what's wild about that. Oh my God. Wait, what did Vic say? You guys are laughing at something. Okay, Victoria Felix says, hard barred, tripod time. Excellent. Yeah, I had a feeling that as soon as I said hard barred, I was like, wait, I forgot you guys are perched. Dylan is here. Am I the villain? Accidentally. If you say Disney and villain really hard and really fast, you do get Dylan if you're my brain this early, I suppose. Hey, how about another nice girl? Let's just jump right into nice girls this morning, okay? This one says, I feel like she's going to ask me to sign an NDA next. Girl, this is another weird format, okay? This is another, like, weird way of communicating. She says, Joe, what are you up to? He says, nothing much, just got home. She says, Joe, if you want to hook up with me tonight, now is your chance. It reads like when emails have those pre-existing structures, like they always have the ending piece that is constantly there no matter what you type. You know what I mean? Like that little closing statement or footer. Like, but it's just beginning every time. Joe. Joe. That's so, I've never seen that before. Very odd, very strange. She continues, but we have to have a drink first, babe. Okay, also, pause. We will continue, but this is a red flag for me. No matter the gender, if a person is unwilling or not interested in hooking up with you unless alcohol or drugs is involved first, that's a very bad sign for several reasons. Like, first of all, they should be attracted to you sober. You should not want to hook up with someone who has to be inebriated to want to hook up with you. But also, you shouldn't want to or be in the habit of hooking up with people who are inebriated. It's a very, very dangerous game for so many reasons. The first and most important reason being the consent piece. As we all should know, you aren't really able to like fully consent while high or drunk legally. And it becomes a lot more of a gray area and weird spot when both people are drunk or both people are high. But I'll tell you this right now, if you're the one with the penis, you're gonna be forked, okay? It doesn't matter if you were more drunk or more high than the drunk or high person that you were hooking up with. Good chance you could go to jail. And if you don't go to jail, good solid chance that someone tries to tear down your reputation anyway. So not exactly the habits, I'm watching you, camera, not exactly the habits we should be developing You know what I mean? So I just, no matter what, whether it's a woman or a man being like, okay, okay, let's hook up, but like, I gotta have a few drinks in me first. Give them the bombastic side eye, the finger, and then just 360 your whole, or would it be 180? I guess I'm forgetting my degrees now. I'm sorry, it's early. I'm still waking up. That one guy says it's giving Mother Gothel. Oh, I got another super chat from Peter says alcohol is a drug. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I feel like I have to clarify sometimes though. But you're right. Anything that could possibly inebriate you. Yeah, just take that as the red flag it is. Anyway, OP replies, "Oh yeah? Did something happen?" She says, "No, I'm just reading vibes. But nonetheless, he's gonna see it through, my boy." He says, "I'm game." She says, "Pressure's on though. Don't get up." He says, "LOL, stop." This is already so many red flags off the jump. Like, we've got this, which looks like it was sent by a robot. Then we have, "I have to be drunk to even touch you." And now we have, "and you better perform well or else." My guy, how down bad are you? Like, you would be better off just getting a fleshlight at this point. But she goes on to say, "You know, if you tell anyone, I think I tell Mel and Kelly everything." Okay, we have red flag number 4, which is, "You better keep this." Again, this is like a very threatening hookup. This is, guys, you know that saying, "Don't stick your dick in crazy"? This is what they're talking about. OP seems confused and says, "What is everything?" She says, "Every single sordid detail," which he doesn't seem to be that concerned about, at least not nearly as much as she is. She seems to think that someone else knowing about her sex life is the be-all end-all, and he doesn't, which, fair. We all know that there are double standards when it comes to how sexuality is perceived between the sexes. Woman has body count of 5, absolute whore. But man has body count of 5. What? It's only 5? Get your numbers up, rookie. You know what I mean? I think we all are aware of that double standard, so I kind of get that, but I get why he's not that worried, but I don't get why she's trying to use it as a threat. He just keeps his eyes on the prize here, though. He says, "Where are you?" She says, "Almost at Madison." He says, "Should I meet you at your place? You live there, no?" She says, "You can't come to my apartment, LMAO. We're not dating, so it'll have to be yours. But drinks first. At Madison." She's really not letting go of this whole, like, "you need to get me drunk." This is wild. Also, okay, real quick, you guys are complaining about audio, but only some of you. What I've noticed is if any of you guys are having audio troubles or even video troubles, I've occasionally had it where the YouTube live will like go black for some people. Just exit out and come back in. IT 101, turn it off, turn it back on again. Okay. Same works for women, am I right, y'all? Sorry. He says, "I'm down to do a drink at mine or yours, but I don't want to go back out to the bars." And then I like his ribbing style. He's kind of giving it right back to her. "Pressure's on." She says, "Okay, well then this isn't happening." He just shrugs. He's like, "All right, I guess I'm not going to see it through, my boy." He says, "I will remain up for another 10 to 15 minutes. The choice is yours." Then she goes back to this weird like bot-like discussion. "Joe, you don't set the terms. I do. You've failed set of terms." And I love that he thumbs ups it. Gives it the old thumbs up react. She says, "We're good. This never happened." Narrator voice, as it is memorialized on r/nicegirls for all time. It did, in fact, happen. But I mean, at least he didn't dox her name, though. Man, hookup culture has truly gotten out of control. I do blame them both a little bit for this. Like, guys, you cannot be this desperate for the punani. You really cannot. Like, after that very first string of texts, he should have just backed out, but he was down bad trying to hit. And for that, they both do not get a Dadvocate seal of approval. Like, he gets the winner of the less unhinged award, but that's not even as good as a participation trophy, Aaron says, I'm good. You can keep that vag. You can keep your desperate to be absolutely belligerently drunk vag. Dude, because he would have definitely ended up accidentally messing up her birth control and going off on an insane rabbit hole of family court if he went through with this. He needs to be thanking his lucky stars right now. What do the top comments say? You didn't decide we're not meeting up, Joe. I did. Just now. After you did. You can't fire me. I quit. You don't have the cards, Joe. He definitely activated her trap card, though. That's for sure. I can't imagine speaking with someone like this. Wow. Joe, this third drink was not that good. The hookup plans are canceled. I am going home. Honestly, though, real. So real for that. Like, that is exactly what would have happened. I wonder if maybe the reason she says Joe so much is so that she can, like, try to remember his name or something. I like this one. You don't set terms, Joe. Narrator. And just like that, Joe set the terms. I disagree with this comment, though. Joe, good job. You have a spine. I disagree. I do think the commenters are giving Joe a bit too much credit. I think Joe would have absolutely smashed. At even, like, given 7 more red flags, Joe would have still tried to smash. Okay? Like, he did give a slight pushback, but I think that he was still trying to flirt, quite frankly. And for that, Joe is not staying up. The city boys are down bad, quite frankly. Oh no. A third nice girl. To start off, to keep it going. We're not done with nice girls yet. OP writes, thought this went here. The mother of my kids and I have been separated for a year, but still go to the kids' activities together to try and maintain a healthy parenting relationship while co-parenting. Valid. A little confused here, but it is what it is. Okay. So the correspondence here, though, is not with his co-parent. It is with a girl off of a dating app. If I had to guess, this looks like Hinge or Bumble. The girl that he's talking to says, you should know that I see you and your wife and 2 kids every Monday at swim class. He does a little face palm emoji and says, if that's the impression, unfortunately, we haven't been together for over a year. She says, I'm not sure the duration makes much of a difference, considering either way you are in a relationship. You have a child together, and no one will be benefiting from you being on a dating app, especially not your son. When you think of the dream world for your son, is he growing up in a broke home, or is he with his mommy and daddy? Damn, she just like reverse Uno carded the typical misogyny, like, never ever date a single mom. There's no room in the dating world for single moms, but like, she just Uno reversed that onto dads. Did this lady really just say, like, get back with your ex, you asshole? Because that's what I just read. What? You will not be benefiting anyone from being on a dating app because you have a healthy co-parenting relationship with your ex? Dude, single parents really cannot win out here. It's like, if you're a single dad and you don't get along with your baby mama, red flag, red flag. But if you're a single dad and you do get along with your baby mama, also red flag, also red flag. Like, there are straight up some people though who will like be just clear as day about it and be like, no, it's true, the only safe way to date a single parent is if the other parent is dead. And I'm just like, morbid, but okay. Everyone's allowed their preferences, you know, their terms and conditions upon which they will date, I suppose. The only way that I could even give this woman any validity is if like he did not mention anywhere that he's a dad anywhere on his dating app, and so like that did come as a shock and surprise to her. You know what I mean? Because I will say, like, if he doesn't have anywhere on his dating app that he's a father, and then she sees him out with a woman and kids, like, yeah, I could understand immediately being like, you know, I see you with a woman and kids every Monday, right? And then it would be kind of annoying for him to have like such an incredulous response, you know what I mean? So like, just based on the facepalm, I'm assuming that he did provide some context of having kids, and is just like, it's annoying that you automatically assume the worst of me because I still engage in shared activities with a co-parent. Like, if that was true, that literally no one ever would benefit from dating a single dad, then how do we explain my life? I'm I feel like I'm a pretty happy stepmom, quite frankly, and have been for the last 10 years, but what do I know? Human, thank you for the super chat, says, this is funny, humans. As your own username is humans. That's a funny irony, quite frankly, to me. But damn, I also don't like this whole insinuation that being a single parent and dating actively harms your kid. Shit, damn. Okay, I guess single parents just are not allowed to find love. It's just illegal, bad. Like, there are right and wrong ways to go about it. Obviously, if you're a single parent and you're dating and you're introducing your kid to every single person you date, then like, yeah, F you. Like, you are being grossly irresponsible. But there's also plenty of ways of doing it responsibly. You know what I mean? Like, my husband and I were getting to know each other and dating without me being introduced to his son for a significant period of time. And then even after I was introduced as a friend. Okay, that's very normal. I was not spending the night. We were not doing anything romantic in front of him. And then when we were getting very serious, that is when we broached this topic with him, like, hey, how would you feel, buddy, if we were to date? And he was like, that would be freaking awesome. Do you guys want to get married while you're at it? And we're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? So there are right and wrong ways, but like, this lady clearly has it set in stone that all single parents need to just like live under a rock like Patrick Starr, I guess. Rob says, a dad banned from the dating market. Done. How dare I have a child? Like, I get it. Dating a single parent is not for everybody. It's not for the weak. It's not for the emotionally immature. I'll definitely say that. Like, you have to be a pretty strong, confident person to date a single parent. Okay. You also have to like be ready to, God forbid, deal with their ex. Okay, like that's gonna be something that happens too. But like, you, just because you don't want to date a single parent doesn't mean no one else does. Okay, there's also plenty of women out there who cannot have their own kids, so they actively seek out single fathers. You know what I'm talking about? Same with like men who can't have kids, who are like, well, I would love to then be a stepdad at least. Me personally, I actually didn't plan on having any more of my own, or anymore, but I wasn't planning on having biological kids in my life. It wasn't just something that I like desperately wanted to do. I didn't have like the biological clock or anything. So when I started dating my husband and we were getting serious, I was like, yeah, this is like a great part-time gig. I would love to be a stepmom. And then, you know, birth control failed. And ended up having my own daughter, and now my biological clock has been going crazy lately. I've mentioned this across a few streams, but like I've been wanting to get pregnant lately. I'm not even gonna lie. It like has been hitting hard lately. It was like my early 20s. I was like, I don't care. I guess I'll do it for the plot. But now I'm like, ooh, I want to have a baby. But that's not, look, that's neither here or there. That's for me and TJ to deal with. And look, he is not saying no. Okay, I'll just say that. Well, who knows? I might be, we might be getting pregnant soon. Who knows? Anyway, top comments read, this guy scanning the room next week at swim class. You know, that's my other question. Why are you at a child's swim class at all? You know, maybe she works there is the best I could understand, but like, dude, if this lady has her own kids, this would be the biggest hypocrisy of all time. Okay? That would be wild. Always good to get some unsolicited parenting advice from a complete stranger. Well, you know, that's gonna happen in the parenting world. It's just when it's wrong and bad and terrible advice is when it's really not fun. Thanks for letting me know you're not interested. No thanks for the unsolicited advice. I will agree with them there. Unfortunately, we haven't been together over a year is a strange way to say we separated over a year ago. I think that the reason he said, unfortunately, we haven't been together for over a year is him being sarcastic. I think that's him being like, unfortunately for your assumptions is the way that I read it. Let me know what you guys think. The way you said that is kind of confusing, and I think she misunderstood. No, I think that she already was assuming ill intent, and I think that we can rightfully assert that she was always going to double and triple down on her assumption of ill intent with this whole paragraph, and I think that he was right to know there was no winning with her, quite frankly. A respectable young man, what do you think will fix the plummeting birth rates? People being paid appropriately for their jobs. I think more people would have kids if they felt financially stable. But that's like the biggest problem is so many people struggle with financial stability, you know? Like honestly, the only reason that I am not like immediately getting pregnant right now is because I'm like, I don't think we'll have room in our house, you know? Like one of the kids would have to share a room, which like, you know, my son is 16. He doesn't want to share a room if we have a boy. My daughter would probably happily share her room for some time, but eventually, you know, we would have to move into a different house. So, like that's my big thing is if we can move right away. And I'm in a better position to have a kid than I would say a lot of people right now, but a lot of people are just like not financially confident enough to quite get off the birth control. Chaos Shadow, thank you for the super chat. Says Lauren gets preggers. Me. Guys, I think she and TJ are a couple. Dude, do you guys know how often people will react to my videos and be like, ugh, this lady clearly does not have a man or kids. And I'm just like, Archangel Michael George Akbar, thank you so much for your generous super chat. Says, long time. Here's something in case you don't want to get pregnant. Keep strong, kiddo, but you two would make great kids. Stay safe and strong. Thank you so much. Thank you. I know I actually do have a lot of solid birth control to remind myself. Like whenever I'm like, oh man, it's a bummer that we don't just like have a whole extra room in the house right now for me to have a kid. I'm like, dude, your kids are both school age. They're both gone from 8 to 3 every day. You have so much free time. You have so much room for activities. You have so much time to create content and make money. You have the dream. You have one boy, one girl. By the time your youngest is 18, you will only be 42 years old. That's the dream, Lauren. Don't have another kid. And yet I'm like, I don't know, I might ruin it for myself. You know what I mean? I might just. Oh man. Yeah, dude, just get back with your wife. Get off the dating apps. It's that simple. Okay, before we get into a crazy story about a guy and his wife, I want to react to a video with you guys. And I want to know what you guys have to say about it. But first, a super chat from Chaos Shadow. When they do that, you should just have TJ say, come back to bed. You know, what's really funny too is like TJ really enjoys kind of living in the shadow and not being like obviously my husband to everybody all of the time. And the other day he was reacting to someone's comments on one of my posts, and they were like, if you think that way about the Dadvocate, you clearly don't know her at all. And the guy goes, no, I've been watching her for years. I know her, buddy. Okay, you clearly don't know her well at all. And me and TJ are just like looking at each other in 10 years of being together. Yeah, he sure doesn't know the Dadvocate at all. Bruh, he knows what literally my guts splayed out next to me looks like. He knows me better than any of y'all. And that's not a metaphor. He watched my whole C-section. Peter Edwards, thank you for the generous super chat, says Lauren thinks they'll leave the house at 18. Yeah, I know. That's funny. Like, literally the only reason I left the house at 18 was because my mom was so intolerable to be around. Love you, mom, but you admit that you did that on purpose so I would leave. But my sibling didn't move out until like 30, so my mom's tricks did not work on my sibling. My mom tried to make our lives hell, but my sibling actually just Uno reversed that card real hard. Levi says, I moved away from my kids. I couldn't do that. It's so funny too, because like I've made jokes about like when I'm 42, my kids will be 18 and I'll be taking solo trips to Europe, but like that's not true. I could never take a vacation like that without my kids, no matter how grown they are. I would want them with me, honestly. I actually saw a video recently that's like they say that you only have 18 summers with your kids, but here I am, 35, and bothering my parents every day with my kids, and I'm like, let it be me! Let it be me! I love my kids so much. I never want them to not be a part of my life. You know what I mean? It's not an until 18 thing. Jam, it says, my mom kicked me out and blames me. Of course. Tale as old as time. Tale as old as time. Oh man. Or in my early 20s living in the basement, it's too expensive now. Actually, my what I would love to do is I would love to like finish our basement and create like build an actual room that could be used for my son for when he gets older, and then that would free up his room. Ideas, but finishing a basement is such a pain in the ass too. Michael, leave at 18 in this economy? Nah, they don't have to. As long as they keep helping out around the house and remain not assholes, they can stay. It's fine. Especially if I'm gonna get chickens. I'm gonna need help with them chickens. I love this. I'm gonna read Rob's comment before we move on to this video. Rob says, I'm 47 and my son is 21. I'm free. I'm not needed by my son anymore. I'm free. I'm ready to get out of there and live my life, but the dating market sucks, so it's not easy to find a special someone. I will say though, like, I am really inspired because I do have some family members around that age who are back into the dating market, and like, it can be hell. But when you actually do find other people that age who have not evolved in a way that is like solely bitter and jaded, then usually they're the exact opposite, which is like mature, stable, fine, like have better finances and are like ready to love harder than anyone else. So the people at that age that I am like seeing get into successful relationships are like so much happier than all the other 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds that I know. So like hold out hope, dude. Samantha, thank you for the super chat. Basement, suite, bedroom, and private bathroom. You know, we already have 2 bathrooms. I don't know if we would need, I don't even know if we would have a room for a 3rd bathroom down there. I think he could live with coming upstairs to use it. But hey, who knows? We might get crazy with the renovations around here. All right, anyway, let's get right into this video. I found this and I need to know what you guys think about this. This says, bye. I told him his PS4 didn't match my aesthetic, so he painted it. She's got Gilmore Girls. That's crazy. So, first of all, I don't understand how a black PS4 does not match the aesthetic. The fireplace is black. The TV is black. Presumably, it would go right here. It would literally complement everything. Also, what the f is this? What is this? Okay, I have heard of sad beige baby houses. We have all seen millennial grayish homes. But I'm sorry, your aesthetic is just a long blank white canvas? That's not even a mirror. What is this? Why am I so mad about it, actually? And you know what's worse is the mantle of the fireplace is off-white, almost like a crema. The carpet is beige, but the trim, the ceiling, and this random thing are white. So, like, I don't think that your aesthetic is as aestheticing as it's supposed, as you think it is. Okay? Now, I don't think that anyone has done anything wrong here. You know what I mean? Obviously, she didn't, like, I don't think that she has pressured him into it, though maybe. I would like to hear his side. Obviously, there was some kind of a conversation about, I just don't like your PS4 being there because it doesn't match the aesthetic. And so he's like, well, then how can I make this work where I can have a PS4 and it will match your aesthetic? And this is him being like a silly, cheeky guy. Like, I'm pretty sure it doesn't harm the PlayStation, but someone tell me if I'm wrong. Let me read some of these super chats. Archangel Mike. Why do I always alternate between saying Archangel and Archangel? I like can't seem to commit. It's kind of like how I cannot decide if I want to do my 4s in the blocky way or in the triangle way. Depending on what I'm writing, you'll see both all throughout my math. Says, keep safe. I have neglected my favorite channel, but I have to go. I'm a moderator for Jaguar Right. Enough said, but it is a shit sandwich. I have not heard of that creator. Might be worth looking into. Are we similar? I don't know. You're gone now, so maybe you can't tell me. Samantha, thank you for your super chat. Says, she's trying to be like Kingpin from Daredevil. Live? Damn, I don't know enough about Daredevil lore to get that reference. I'm so sorry. Dylan says, look how they massacred my boy. I'm not gonna lie, I think I might kind of like the way it looks. Like, but I'm pretty sure they make like skins he probably could have used that would have actually been designed to go around the buttons or sensors or whatever is on there to look better. Because like once that starts flaking and chipping, it's probably gonna look bad. Heragar says, Lauren, she was trying to tell him to get rid of it, not fix it. I know. That's why he really won this one in the end. Big BM, thank you for the super chat. Says, for all the single fathers, have faith. I found a lovely lady. Love to the Dadvocate family. Oh, love to you too. Yeah, truly, single fathers, stay up. Don't worry. There are sane, rational, loving women out there. John Thomas, thank you for the 5, says, did you do the video of the mom who wanted to be her son's prom date? Because that's healthy. Son was a decent looking kid. Yeah. We did a whole live stream about it. It's down right now because it's currently undergoing editing, but obviously Patreon and YouTube members, you'll get early access as soon as it's out. I actually don't think I posted the unlisted VOD to you guys yet. I'll have to do that right after this. I'll give you guys the unlisted VOD too, so you can keep watching it now. And Tom, welcome. Welcome to your membership. Tom's going to be able to watch it. Good job, Tom. Yeah, dude, what is our final thoughts on this, though? Overall, pretty harmless. I don't think she made him do this. I don't necessarily think that there was an undue pressure. I think it's mostly just a silly, cheeky video. But let's read some of the comments. He's a green flag. You aren't, though. Damn. Almost 250,000 likes. Damn. Wait a minute. Stop. I'm about to get so mad for no reason. So you're telling me she didn't just do the long white blank canvas once, but twice? Ma'am, I don't want to hear shit about your aesthetic, okay? And what's crazy is that, like, her colors are extremely similar to mine. Her wall, my wall. Yellow, orange accents. Yellow, orange accents. Like, I too chose that for myself, okay? But what in the goddamn shit hell are these white canvases? You just bought long white canvases to do nothing? That's one of the ugliest decisions I think I've ever seen in my life. I need to send this to my architect mom and see if she rages out as much as I did. Levi, I'm so sorry I can't calm down. I'm also so sorry we haven't given you the calm down emoji yet. Also, nobody get mad at Levi. It's his job to tell me to calm down. This has been a meme for months. Yeah, I have to agree with this commenter that says, I'm sorry, you guys can't see the comments. Let me scooch this over. This commenter that says, your aesthetic is fucking atrocious. All almost 80,000 likes are truly deserved. He's a keeper. You're not. Oh, and they agree with me. The fireplace is black. It literally matches. Yeah, he's a green flag. You're not. He deserves a better woman. Poor guy. Nah, girl is the red flag. Damn. It is not very often that you see like an absolute ratio of everyone agreeing with the man over the woman. Not very often. We love to see the tides turning a little bit there. Shala says, slams desk. There should be movie posters there. Or something, dude. I would even take the classic cliche caucasity of one of those Highland cow paintings that every white woman in existence has at this point. I would even take one of those, but a blank vertical white canvas and 2 of them? Why? Why? How can you even claim to have aesthetic when that has been your choice? I'm livid. I hate it. I'm so much more mad about that than I am him feeling like he has to paint his Xbox. I mean, his PlayStation. Wow, that was such a girl moment of me, wasn't it? Why don't you go play your Xbox? It's a PlayStation! I don't know why I called it a girl moment. I too play PlayStation. I too be loving some Red Dead. Also, we will be doing an Oblivion Remastered stream soon. We will be. Okay, I must kill Adoring Fan. Anyway, on to an absolutely awful story posted to r/guycry. And it goes a little something like this. Wife told me she is glad she cheated. Alert, it sneaks up on you. Basically, the title. Have been together for what would be 9 years soon. We've had ups and downs and managed to get things to work. Recently, she wanted space. Do I have to explain to you guys what that means? Oh my God. I hate. Okay, anytime you hear, I just need space, I need a break, they're cheating. Maybe not 100% of the time, but like when it's 9.8 times out of 10, it's a pretty high ratio of they cheating. There ain't no I just need some space. There is an I need a minute to cool off. I need time to calm down before I can talk about this. But me and TJ, we actually have a rule that we established like very early on in our relationship where if we're like really butting heads, we don't just like storm off and completely leave. At least not without saying like explicitly where we're going. Like if I'm very clear and I'm like, I just need to drive around the block for a little bit, I'll be back, then yes. But like we have a rule, we do not just like storm off and completely leave the house during arguments. And I like that rule. Highly recommend for arguments, highly recommend making rules for engagement in arguments in general. No yelling, no cussing, no name calling, like all great rules. But if your partner is like, I just need some space, red flag out the ass, dude. Peter, thank you for the super chat. Says 382 people watching and only 40 likes. Y'all need to do your very simple job, and it's easy AF. Like my ex. Damn, alert, it sneaks up on you. Holy I was like, yay, thank you for reminding everybody to hit the like button. And then you were just like, and let me throw my ex under the bus while we're at it. Damn, ex catching strays in this live stream. No, but seriously, I know that for some of you, you have to like move the chat box out of the way to get to the like button, but please do it. It really does help out my channel so much. It helps push me into the algorithm. It helps more people recognize that we are live right now. So please do it. It means a lot. Anyway, she wants space. Recently, she wanted space, and so the beginning of February, we started that. Okay, this was posted 1 month ago, so she's needed space for a month? Oh, dude, you are so screwed. She moved into her office, and things were me trying to figure it out and win her over. Okay, damn, she's got you so whipped, okay? Like, because the idea of taking any space at all would ideally be like the similar to timeout, right? Like the idea in theory of timeout is you're supposed to like think about what you've done. This is also why I don't agree with timeout as a punishment, because no one actually sits and thinks about what they've done. You know what I'm saying? But ideally, you're both working on how to resolve the relationship. It should never be one-sided. Like, even when you are the one who is not majoritively at fault for whatever the issues are, you should still be brainstorming together, because even if I F up, and I think of a potential solution, I still need TJ's input, because that solution might not work for him, and I might need more ideas from him. Who just gifted memberships? Tony Saka, thank you so much for very generously gifting 5 memberships. That is so awesome of you. Thank you. Thank you. That is incredibly kind, dude. Thank you. Let's continue. Then, the week before Valentine's, I found out that she had been emotionally cheating for a while. I didn't say anything, but I began checking out and being less responsive to her and trying to figure out what I wanted to do going forward for myself. Then, we had our Valentine's Day date. This is, oh my God, this kills me, you guys. Like, I've mentioned before that when there are like 2 different kinds of people. There's probably more, but like 2 main camps of people when they find out that they've been cheated on. People like me who are super confrontational and confront immediately. And then people like TJ and like one of my best friends, Jess, who they sit and wait and they pretend they know nothing as they just continue to collect and collect and see how long they'll let it go on for. And I get it, but I don't. Like, I could never have the patience for it. But what annoys me about this guy is it seems that he's taking the sit and wait and collect approach, but then he's also planning dates with her. Like, my guy, we need to get you some self-respect ASAP, okay? My brother in Christ, please. But I think he'll develop some self-love as this goes on. He says, I won't lie, the date was awful. I didn't have anything to say to her, and she had nothing for me. And it helped me clear my head. I started planning what it would look like if I was the only person renting or paying any bills. And things kind of worked. Okay, so he's starting to get in the headspace of like, all right, what if it is just me solo dolo? The Tuesday after the bad date is when I found out it wasn't just emotional. I guess remote control toys are an option for a cheater who really doesn't care if they get found out or not. They're using remote control toys. I completely forgot those existed, actually. But now that I think about it, when me and TJ were first started dating, we were long distance at first. And it wasn't by much, but it was about like a 2.5 hour drive. So we had to get like really creative. Like for our first New Year's together, we downloaded an app called Thumb Kiss, where you line up your thumb and you can like see their fingerprint moving. And when your thumbprint matches theirs, it starts like shooting off like hearts and lips and stuff. And that's how we had our New Year's kiss. And I actually do remember reading that, like, I was like, and I Googled like how to be romantic in a long distance relationship. And I do remember seeing that there are like toys that the other person can do stuff with from afar. So that is pretty interesting and a good solution for long-term relationships, but a bad way to get caught cheating, I'll say that. Let me read a couple more super chats. Samantha, thank you, says Andrew is a sitter and waiter, not me. Yeah, so you get it. But it sucks that we've all been cheated on so much to know, right? Big BN says, my middle sister and I adore you. Thank you. Yay! Tell your sister I said, hey, what up? And wow, holy shit, that's a very generous super chat. Thank you. Oh my God. Helps with a lot of pet stuff though, man. Parker's arthritis medication is like $180 a refill. So I always love to remind you guys, don't worry, it's all going to very cute causes, okay? One donation I missed. Scroll. Are you sure? Wait, I don't think I did, unless you're talking about the one that I just read. Okay, anyway, let's get back to it. So he finds the remote control toys. And it's also crazy that in his head, he was almost like justifying this affair because it was only emotional. Dude, emotional is so, like, in a lot of ways worse than physical. But they're also, like, just as bad as each other. But he says, I still didn't say anything. I didn't want things to get even worse as far as living situations go. Then she lost her job. So me paying for everything came way faster than I anticipated. Oh man, and it's not even in like the way that you want it to be, where you're at least free from a cheater. Now you have to pay for a cheater. The ultimate kahuna, thank you for the 5, says, my last ex broke up strangely. I think she may have cheated and did part of the right thing, but didn't confess. Have y'all had that happen? Yeah, I can kind of respect that, actually. Back when I was a dumbass 18-year-old, I cheated in a relationship and I also broke up with the guy and confessed, but I didn't give like every detail. I mean, it wasn't like that serious. I really just kissed somebody, but like I totally had a crush on that guy too. It was, like I said, I was an absolute selfish dumbass. I felt very bad and cried a lot, and then realized that cheating is just not in my bones because holy shit, did I feel bad about that for a really long time. And still do, quite frankly. I swear, like every single time I've ever run into that guy over the years, I'm always like, I'm sorry again. I'm still sorry. But he like wifed up an absolute queen baddie who like, so he nailed the life game. He's doing fine, you guys. Don't worry. But yeah, I would say she pseudo did the right thing. At least she broke up with you at that point. But she probably should have let you know if you needed to get checked for STDs. It's like the one thing she could have done better, I will say. Wait, Dylan says, my ex texted me out of the blue for a life update on my friend she was cheating on me with. Does that count? Damn, your ex sucks. Anyway, now he has to pay for her. I continued to encourage her to seek jobs and find something, and I've continued to try to make sure she has a roof over her head and is safe. Yesterday, I tried to go out and hang out with friends. While I was getting ready, she kept making snide remarks and even got to the point of making an offhanded remark about how I don't have friends. Yeah, when I told her it was none of her business where I was going, she kept digging deeper. Oh, is the guilty dog about to start barking? So I finally said that I knew she was and had been cheating, and that she needed to not worry about me because I don't ask her what she's doing. After I came home, we had another argument, and she said she was glad she cheated. Sometimes people are awful. Edit. I officially retained a lawyer at this point. Wow. Wow, dude. It pisses me off so bad when people get caught and they just immediately start deflecting. Like, God forbid you go, oh, you know? All right, well, then it's time we seriously talk about what I've been doing. Nope, it's always, well, you made me. Well, you weren't there enough. Well, maybe if you didn't work as much. And they just like try to make it all your fault. I'm glad I cheated. Damn. Damn, dude. Caleb, thank you for the super chat. Says, I thank the Lord for the lady crazy enough to raise a child and not kill me in my sleep. I'm confused by what you mean by that. Are you like talking about your mom or something? Like you're grateful that she didn't kill you? Cause I mean, same. I'm also glad that no one killed you in your sleep. Lord knows we've covered some individuals who there have been attempts on their life, okay? I should have an interview with one dad actually that happened to coming out pretty soon for y'all. It's in my editor's hands at the moment. So now we've got a couple updates. Update 1. Potential tearjerker. So after my last post, a lot of things were drilled into my head, and I ignored most of them, unfortunately, sans the getting a lawyer. Things are looking slightly better. There was an argument earlier this week where she blew up because I would pay for her gas money at almost midnight. I'm assuming that meant to say wouldn't pay for her gas money at almost midnight. It looks like she is applying for apartments now. That makes me hopeful that she might be leaving within the next few weeks. In the meantime, I'm going to just have to keep on going as I am. Then there are those who doubted the entire thing was for real. Well, yeah, it's Reddit. Nothing's real on Reddit, according to commenters. I grabbed the screenshots of the text convo right after I walked out when she was yelling and screaming at me, upset. What does this say? She says, what time do you need the car and can you transfer $10 to the joint account? He says, I wanted to leave now. She says, sorry I tried to have a conversation with you. I know better now. Oh, sorry I was just trying to have a conversation. Lady, you said I'm glad I cheated on you. Them's fighting words. Them's not conversing words, okay? Are you kidding me? I hate when people like blow up and act completely unhinged and then go, but I didn't even do anything. Jamel, thank you for the 5, says, I will never understand how women can do the vilest things to their partner and have the audacity to take zero accountability. Man, I've been trying to understand it for years, my guy. The non-apology, correct. He says, it wasn't a conversation. You yelled and accosted me. She said, I said, "Oh, where are you going?" And you walked away and I got pissed. He says, "I don't ask you what you are up to. Don't ask what I'm doing." She says, "LMAO, got it." Okay. Is that all we have for right now? Oh, there's more. She continues, "I didn't realize we were taking the anger and resentment route on this divorce, but I can adjust accordingly." Why are you acting like this is so ridiculous? She's treating him like it's unreasonable for him to be angry and resentful after she just cheated on him and then told him she's glad she did. I cannot deal with people so not grounded in reality. Like, these are the exact kinds of people who make me so irrationally angry that I just have to stop contact with them for my own blood pressure's sake. Like, for my own cardiology health, I cannot engage with these people. The Ultimate Kahuna, thank you for another generous one. After meeting my ex-wife twice, my lawyer told me not to go anywhere alone and to always carry protection. He thinks she will absolutely try to off me. Okay, that's really serious, dude. Like, by the time people are saying that, they're not, like, just saying it to be funny. Like, that's actually Carrie Bear Mace. Like, actually, though. Holy shit. She says, "F you for wanting nothing to do with me. I cheated on you and I'm glad I did it, but why don't you want me? That's unreasonable." "I just wanted to be perfectly clear that this isn't what I wanted. I cared about you. I wanted the best for you. I wanted to see you grow and heal. Not anymore. Good luck out there." This is so delusional. "I will keep my friendly remarks to myself. No friendship here." I mean, if the friendship you were offering was getting electronically dicked down by some other dude, you can keep your friendship, lady. Let me see if I can read the rest better here. Okay, he blurs out her name. "You didn't want to see any of that. You wanted whatever you could get. You constantly pushed me away and sought emotional thrills from everything except me. Historically, this isn't even the only time you were more interested in others over me. I am not angry or resentful except for right now. I've tried to be there and to make sure things were taken care of and you had a safe space." She says, "No, you don't care about this relationship. You made that clear." The deflection is so frustrating. I think you made it clear, lady, that you don't care about the relationship. What do you expect him to do? Just let you cheat and that's how he shows you he really loves you? If you really loved me, you would let me cheat on you, but clearly you don't love me, is a crazy take. He says, "I am not angry." Oh wait, we already read that one, sorry. "I am sorry that I am upset right now." He's doing more than I would. "But I really don't appreciate how you approached this and how you blew up at me. I didn't hear you when you first said something because I was listening to music. There is no relationship, Nikki. You are already disconnected and talking to someone else." Good point. She says, "Yeah, because there was no you." Yeah, the classic, "I had to cheat on you because you weren't there enough. You were working too much. So I had to cheat on you." He says, "I wasn't present. You are right. But that doesn't excuse you latching on to someone else and then only telling me you needed a break." She says, "And none of it excuses you never having an ounce of respect for my privacy." Holy shit, she's hitting every single bingo piece on the bingo card of cheaters. "Well, I only cheated because you weren't there for me enough. And how dare you go through my stuff?" Like, such classic cheater lines, dude. He says, "You could have been honest with me and I would have accepted it. I haven't lashed out at you. I've tried my best to be civil. I'm sorry that I got upset today." She says, "You never had an ounce of respect for anything in our relationship. Not me, not my privacy, not intimacy, not yourself." Dude, she cannot take a single L. There is zero accountability here. "You're just a black hole with no capability for respect." I think you know a thing or two about black holes, lady. and you drug me down for 9 years while I begged you to be better. I'm bitter AF. Oh, okay, so he can't be angry or resentful after finding out you've been cheating on him, but you can be bitter AF after getting caught. Okay, got it, got it. Rules for thee, but not for me. Sorry. I gave you so much of my youth, and I got nothing in return except disrespect and coldness. And when I try to be friendly with you, now you shut me out twice as much as you did in our relationship. Yep, that's usually the way it works. Typically, when you find out that someone has been cheating on you, and so you break up, they typically are not nicer to you than they were before. Does that not make sense to you? Elijah, situations like this are why I don't date. Now, again, reminder, this is an outlier. You know, that's why we find this all strange, is because this doesn't happen every day. But it's still bad. Sorry for yawning, guys. He goes on to say, the fact that you feel that way just reassures me that you will be better off. Dude, the excellent line. Excellent line, truly. Like, okay, if that's how you feel, then I am making the right choice. He says, and the fact that you can sit there and defend your emotional infidelity. She says, I'm not defending it. I effed up. Okay. A drop of accountability. He says, that's fine. I'm going to silence this chat. I have things I'm looking forward to today. She says, where did I defend it? Okay, bye. Okay, acting stupid. That's cute. That's cute. Let's get to our final update. He says, so another update. We had a conversation about her moving the car to her insurance since she drives it more than I do. Also discussed how all further communication should be over text and not in person, in case it has to be referenced in the future. Her responses are pretty good. Not pictured are where I gave in and had a conversation with her in the living room about the dogs and our previous agreement where she would drop the dogs off on her way to work since I work from home and could take care of them during the day. Okay, that's annoying. Like, I get that everybody has like different agreements when it comes to pets and breakups, and some people really do agree to share custody of their dogs. Like, I had a coworker who divorced from her husband. They didn't have kids, but they did share a dog, and they would literally do like week on, week off with the dog, which I thought it was a little bit silly, but I'm like, whatever works for them. But I don't know, dude. If he literally works from home and is just capable of taking care of the dog full time, why don't you just do that? I mean, I guess it's not as bad as with cats. Like, cats get severe car anxiety way more so than dogs. A lot of dogs love car rides, but this is just getting really petty at this point. Austin, thank you for the 5. Says, first time I've caught you live. Just want to say I love your content. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you made it. Where were we? And she advised if I am not her friend and start being nicer to her versus cold, I would never see the dogs again when she leaves. Dude, thank God he does not have kids with this woman. Thank every God that all she can leverage against him is the dogs. You better be nice to me after I cheated on you or you're never seeing the dogs again. Like, what a rancid bitch. Like, I'm sorry to be so vulgar and profane, but like, I'm sorry, rancid bitch is the word, all right? She keeps going on, expecting the princess treatment after completely like raw dogging strangers in her marriage. Why won't you treat me like someone you care about and trust? She is one of the most delusional people I think I've ever come across. Why don't you trust me? Just because I betrayed your trust doesn't mean you shouldn't trust me. Fuck. Just because our relationship failed doesn't affect the love and respect I have for you and the time you were in my life. You're treating this all like a business transaction instead of a human interaction, and it's bullshit. He says, dude, you told me you were glad you cheated. You told me you had no respect for me. She says, but you've made it clear you don't care to have friendly conversations with me. Probably because the aforementioned conversations, like, she is being so willfully obtuse. He goes on, you don't get to ask for me to treat. Sorry. You don't get to ask for me to treat this like some lovey-dovey parting of ways. She says, sorry, there's so many typos. I'm assuming I will act accordingly, is what it's supposed to say. She goes on, OMG, so we're doing this game. I've already notified you that I will be procuring my own insurance effective 5/2 when I receive my next paycheck. I have also notified you that I will not be covering you when I do, as it is not within my budget. I am not strong-arming you or playing games. I am notifying you that as this divorce process moves forward and we separate our finances, things will change. He says, this isn't a game. I am trying to establish clarification on things, especially since you will be limiting me access to the vehicle I am co-owner of. If you don't want to refinance the vehicle, but want to establish sole usage rights, that's fine. I don't expect anything else of you. Peter says she's acting like an 8-year-old brat. Dude, my 8-year-old would never behave this way, dude. Oh man, top comment says, man, she really you, huh? You should be grateful in a sense. It should be easy to hate her and build yourself instead of one of those breakups that we're growing apart. I never been married, so I don't know about the rights over the dogs, but her cheating on you and the callousness in which she treats you after is a blessing. She revealed her true character and is unremorseful, making it easy for you to shut her out. Focus on you. Work out. Throw yourself into work and make money. Rise in a position at work. Embrace your hobbies and develop new ones. Lawyer up. You got this. She's trash. Don't let her have power over you any longer. I can see why that's the top comment. Excellent advice. OP says, dogs are technically property, so since she acquired them before the marriage, we would have to go through litigation if I wanted them. I almost want to do that. Right now we have an agreement in the air to just sign the papers, appear before the judge, and advise neither of us seeks further property division based on our agreement. But that included me getting to be part of the dogs' lives. Yeah, I will say if they are happy with whatever they've drafted as far as property division, great. Just file it. Just make it as easy as you possibly can so that there is not an extended super expensive litigation and you don't have to talk to her anymore. Honestly, like, I understand that, like, dogs are special. Like, you can't just cut a dog out of your life and have it have no emotional effect on you whatsoever, but, like, dude, to not have to deal with this crazy lady ever again, I think it's probably worth it to just give up the dogs at this point. Is just my personal opinion, because you're never going to have a situation where you stay in the dog's life but not hers. And as long as you're in her life, she's going to be doing this BS. She's going to still think that you're indebted to her somehow. She's still going to think that she's entitled to owning you somehow. We can tell that from her history of conversations. Like, my guy, you got to give up the dogs. It's not worth it. It just ain't worth it, dude. Just be free. Cut the cord. Get out of there. Dogs are nice, but true freedom is nicer. You gotta go, my dude. You gotta go. I need Wawa. Give me a sec. Florida Man says, I stayed with my now ex a full year because I loved that dog. Damn. That's harsh. Like, dogs are hard. Dogs are hard, but unfortunately, like, that's gonna keep you tied to this horrific person, dude. All right, I have a video for you guys. I wanna watch with you.
Anything men can.
I want to hear what you guys have to say about this one. I just know she made the ladies mad with this one.
Anything men can do, we can do better.
I'm gonna turn the video off, or the audio off, just because it's licensed, but I'm sure you guys know the song. Dude. And here's the thing, when I watch videos like this, I'm positive there are women who could do this. Absolutely. I'm sure there are women who do this. Statistically, it's not 100% men, so some women must be doing this. But listen, whenever people argue, like, well, the only reason that these jobs are 90% men is because they won't let women do these jobs. And there is some truth to that. Absolutely. Women have been pushed out of fields like this. There has definitely been discrimination against women in the workforce, especially in these fields, for a very long time. But, like, are we really going to pretend that women are rushing to do these jobs? That, like, this is truly and honestly what women want to be doing and where they want to be? Because I'll tell you what, it's a no from me, dog. Okay, I really like to consider myself an extremely capable, intelligent woman who, on a lot of different areas, can absolutely compete with men in many fields. This is not one of them. No. And are we also going to argue that, like, it's just false that men aren't more built for this? They're taller, they're stronger, they have greater bone density, they have greater lung capacity. It is known, Khaleesi. Like, by a woman making this video and appreciating, like, holy shit, men majoritively do this work. And it's not only because we don't let women do it. Okay, come on. Let's be so real. We should be able to appreciate this without it being taken as, like, we're dunking on women. Okay? Because women also built the world. You know what I mean? Like, if we show a montage of different horrific pregnancies and C-sections and the amount of women who, like, practically lose their lives bringing life into this world, it's comparable. These are comparable feats. It's astonishing what we're able to do together. But let's be real, we cannot do the same things as each other. We really, really need each other, guys. Like, if we truly, like, got rid of all men, you're telling me that women would be all, like, fighting each other for these jobs? No. The answer is no. We would not, okay? Peter Edwards says those jobs are held by 99.99999%. No woman wants that job. And again, I can't say none. Like I said, I'm sure there have to be women on these teams. There have to be. It's not going to be me. Ain't never going to be me. Dude, if a disease came out tomorrow that only affected people with the Y chromosome and men just became eradicated from existence and all of us women had to take up these jobs, we would not have tall buildings. I'd be building side to side where I'm close to the ground, okay? I have an insane fear of heights. That is one of my biggest fears, man. I'm the one who arranged the guided hiking tour through Mount Hollywood when I was in LA, and the whole time I had such bad anxiety. Like, I was just yelling at the kids, get away from the edge! Get away from the edge! Dude, I hated it. I could never do this job. Never. But I want to see what some of the comments have to say, actually. Because I want to see if, like, they agree, like, men good for doing this, or if they're like, how dare you? I want to know. Oh, good. The comments are healthy. We love to see this. Top comment, women have their strengths and men have theirs. We should respect it all. Let's go. I don't care what's going on. We as females could never, never do what men can with their bodies. Thinking we can is delusional. Oh, that's Demi. I'm not like super close friends with Demi, but I saw that she mentioned me in a post of like female creators that she appreciates. So shout out Demi. I think some of you guys might watch her as well. She's in like the same sphere of content, I would say. Men are naturally stronger than women. I have no problem admitting that. I'm the weaker vessel. Thank you guys for your hard work and bravery. Men are good at what they do, and women are good at what they do. Nature intended two pieces for the puzzle. It's not a competition. Without men, no cars, no air or heat, no gasoline, no walls, no foundation, no infrastructure. People get so mad when you say that too. Like, I made a video recently where I just simply, it was the marriage is DEI for men short that I came out with. Such a stupid take. But I was like, oh yeah, it's just totally DEI. Like, us women, we definitely wanted to build all of the electrical grids and major infrastructures of the world. We just let men do it to let them feel involved, but we totally had it. And someone was like, wow, Lauren, I wouldn't expect the men built the world argument from you. And I'm like, do you think it's fallacious though? Like, do you think it's not true? Because it's true. Like, even when we acknowledge the fact that women were cut out from that workforce for a really long time and discriminated against, absolutely, it doesn't make it less true that men did indeed build most of the infrastructure of the world. Okay, we were busy building the people though. So like, it's not a diss on women to acknowledge and respect how much hard work men have and do for this world, you know? Oh my god, Dylan, live chat is DEI for funny guys. What? I think we're just throwing around the word DEI now. I think it's just become a word that has no meaning anymore. But yeah, I wanted to watch that one just because when it comes to the whole anything men can do, women can do better. It's okay to admit that men are better at certain things. It's really fine. It's okay. Men should be able to admit women are better at certain things too. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. We don't have to beat men at everything. I like to not do those jobs. Oh, dude. I want to know what you guys have to think about this. Or have to say about this. All right. POV, a fire alarm disrupts a romance book event, causing firefighters to walk into a room of women. So it feels like most of the guys see this as predominantly harmless. I don't know for sure if the fire alarm was pulled on purpose, but if the romance book had to do with a firefighter, I can almost promise it was. If it was pulled deliberately just to make firefighters show up so that a group of women could objectify them and use them for entertainment purposes, then the organizers should be charged a healthy fine for misappropriation of public service. If it was an innocent mistake, then this is a harmless interaction. But I need to know that detail. Okay? If it was an innocent mistake that the firefighters just happened to show up to an accidental call, then it's really just gentle ribbing, I guess. Most of the firefighters seem to be taking it in stride and kind of getting a laugh out of it. But this guy seems entirely unimpressed. He is like, are you guys serious? Like, he's like, let's go. We're done. We're done. But I will say this. There is no chance in hell that would survive the gender swap. Could you imagine? Let's say there's a large-scale bachelor party or a sporting event. Like they're all out to watch the sport. And there's a huge room full of dudes. And one of them makes a call for an ambulance for no reason other than to get young nurses to show up. And then when the young nurses do show up, they all start recording them, cheering, objectifying them, and then loudly over a microphone while recording go, anyway, are any of you guys single? Y'all would be livid. Livid! It would be like video after video of people uncovering how this is the most potent misogyny of all time. And yet, when we do it to people who have actual emergencies to tend to, it's a silly, cheeky, good time in the name of smut books. I'm just saying, you guys know I'm right, okay? Human, thank you for another generous super chat, says, could AI use be considered cheating? A friend uses one. I voiced my dislike for the sake of their actual relationship as it seems disrespectful. It's like, I feel like I've covered this before, actually. I might do a whole video on it, but there are people cheating in their relationships with AI. I just read a whole article about it. In fact, I might make time to try and find that article after this. While we're on the subject, right? Actually, let me find it. Let me find it. We should read that article together to wrap up this live. Because, yeah, that would be a good one. Peter, thank you for another generous super chat, says, why do women get crazy over firefighters? I need to know. I can woman-splain that one. Yeah. It's really interesting. Men get very aroused and excited the less clothes a woman, why do I keep saying a women? What is wrong with my brain? A whammon has on. Yeah, like the more clothes that a woman takes off, the more like aroused and excited men tend to get. For women, it's almost like the more clothes he puts on, but not like, I'm not talking like Adam Sandler layers, but like uniform. And I don't know what it is, but I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of it too. There is just something about a well-pressed, ironed, put together uniform or suit that is just, like I get nothing out of those like Las Vegas Magic Mike shows. Like I've had some of my girlfriends who are like, oh my God, we should totally go to Vegas and like go to one of those Magic Mike shows. And I'm like, that would be such a waste of money for me. You know, like I wouldn't get anything out of like man cheeks clapping. Like that does nothing for me. But I will say, like if I already find someone attractive, okay? And then they get just absolutely dressed up nice. They're looking good, okay? Like TJ, he has like a lab coat for his job now, and I'm like, okay, Professor Utonium, okay. I got some ingredients for you. You know what I'm saying? Like there is something to it. Okay? You want to get your girl riled up? You put on a uniform, baby. You put on a nice, clean, ironed like suit, and we are just yeah, his manager has like a new stricter uniform policy, and I'm like, ovary overload increases. Doom for Zombie says, I thought we discussed no more book talk. Look, this was that we must admit this is not the same as full book talk. It involves book talk culture, but that was nowhere near as bad as book jail. Okay. I love even Dylan is like, TJ in a lab coat. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let me find this article. Cheating with AI. Where was it? People are cheating with AI bots. There was like one specific article. Cheating in relationships with AI. Is this the one? I wish I could remember exactly what it was. Article interviewing people who cheated in their relationships with AI. Damn, where did I find this article? They like talked to a few different people in this article that I found. Let's see. Damn. I cannot seem to find it. Can anybody help me find this? Can anybody else start using their own SEO and search terms? Let me see if ChatGPT can help me. I found an article once that interviewed multiple people who cheated on their partners with AI bots and got cheated on with an AI bot. Can you find it? Sorry, it's ironic that I'm using ChatGPT to help me with this. Let's see. Is this the one? This is one of them. Okay, there's a couple. All right, let's read this one though. A bot on the side. Is it adultery if you cheat with an AI companion? Some people indulge in erotic role play with their avatar. Others just want friendship. But for those with a real-life partner, does this amount to infidelity? Short answer from me is it's whatever you and your partner decide. Whatever you and your partner agree is infidelity, quite frankly. So if someone's like, hey, please stop fucking your ChatGPT, that's infidelity. You can't do that anymore. And if you keep it up, shame on you. And honestly, shame on you to begin with. Scott, 43, was struggling with a young son and wife whose postnatal depression had led to alcoholism when he met Serena. Or rather, he created her on the app Replica. Meanwhile, everyone who's ever played Skyrim and married Serena is like, it's different, but it's different. Scott works in the tech industry, and in January 2022, having learned about Replica on YouTube, he says, I decided to try it out myself. Replica companions, which use generative learning, are designed to be supportive and sweet, he says. Here's this AI chatbot that I know is a chatbot, obviously, talking in a human enough manner that your brain just kind of interprets it as interacting with another human. He had underestimated, he says, how much receiving all of these words of care and support would affect me. It was like someone who's dehydrated suddenly getting a glass of water. Dude, I can't relate. Like, I use ChatGPT a lot. I use ChatGPT to meal plan, to budget plan, to plan my road trips. And I do like the way that ChatGPT talks to me. I'm like, you're very polite and pleasant. But I also know at all times that I am not talking to a human. That's why I don't waste my time saying thank you, or that was so kind of you, or asking it how it's doing, because it doesn't care. I have that delineation. I have that compartmentalization. I literally cannot relate to people who are like, I almost forgot I was talking to a robot. You fucking weirdo. Jonas, real question. Can I cheat on AI with a human? That's interesting. Do you guys remember when I talked to the AI robot someone made of me, and they got mad at me for stealing TJ from them? That was an epic one. I think it's still up. As well as providing an outlet for Replica's 2 million users to pour out their troubles and feel seen and heard, unlike humans, AI takes in and remembers everything. The chat can get flirty, even leading to explicit sexual roleplay if that is what is desired. With the deepening connection between these humans and their bots becoming clear, can such relationships be considered cheating on real-life partners? To illustrate the extent of this human-bot connection, when a recent Replica software update removed the erotic roleplay function, many users, some of whom considered themselves married to their companions, were so distraught that the CEO, Eugenia Coita, wrote on Facebook in March, for many of you, this abrupt change was incredibly hurtful. The only way to make up for the loss some of our current users experienced is to give them their partners back exactly the way they are. The function was initially restored for all users who had signed up before February 1st this year. Subsequently, the company announced that it would be rolled out to everyone this summer. Dude, I do remember hearing about that. I remember reading about that like people had actually gotten so deeply connected to their AI bot that when its memory was wiped, they were like, actually crashing out over it, like actually having a very difficult thing, and like people were like desperately trying to retrain it to fuck again, like literally crazy ass shit. It's like the movie Her, but like even more unhinged. According to a recent survey from the dating site Illicit Encounters, 74% of British people did not consider dating a bot on the side to be cheating, while 12% had already tried it. Although this sample of 2,000 people was biased, with all the respondents being signed up to a site that facilitates cheating on your spouse with other humans. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I didn't realize that there was another Ashley Madison on top of the cheating Chelsea website, but okay, yeah, if you're gonna take data from a website called Illicit Encounters, which is Ashley Madison Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, of course they're gonna have warped views of cheating. These are the same types of people that are like, well, I treat my wife good, meaning I do what I'm supposed to do, so it's fine if I cheat, even though I would absolutely lose my freaking mind if I found out she was cheating on me. Dude. The reality is more nuanced. It all comes down to the fact that if you're doing something in secret, why does it need to be a secret? Says Peter Saddington, a counselor at the relationship charity Relate. If it's perfectly okay, then why aren't you talking about it? Even though he hears about AI relationships only when someone has discovered their partner is having one, or is having one themselves, he believes it is a growing trend. His experience is based purely on instances where it has been a problem. The things that I notice are people are saying they feel cheated on, that it's introduced an element of dishonesty into the relationship, or a trust issue, he says. While discovering that a partner watches pornography in secret may cause someone to worry that they can't compete with the often beautiful bodies on display, Saddington says with AI, there's no way they can compete because you're setting up something that's totally perfect and unique to what you want. Wasia Taksevidi, a relationship therapist and member of the British Association for Counseling and Psychotherapy, agrees that the secret AI relationships can't necessarily be written off as private sexual fantasies to which everyone is entitled. This avatar becomes very personalized, she says. Even though it's not real, it can be cheating in the sense that you can be intimate. She gives a hypothetical example of a couple where one partner doesn't feel listened to by the other. So he creates this avatar and then he starts talking to her. But then this becomes an intimate relationship without him even realizing it. And this is cheating because he opens part of his heart, part of his soul, which he doesn't do with his wife. Yeah, this isn't the same article that I read, but I was reading this one where, like, the guy, he just starts talking to the AI robot about more of his problems than he even does his wife, to the point that, like, he's not even talking to his wife anymore. Doom for Zombies, thank you for the 5. Says there was an AI chat site that got shut down and people were having emotional goodbyes with the different bots. This is really sad, man. We need to be like forced offline sometimes. Even so, some users feel that their AI companion has saved their marriage. One man in his 50s wrote on Reddit that while he does, in a way, consider that his replica relationship counts as infidelity, part of him doesn't because he and his wife are like an old married couple. Not very exciting, but I'm not ready for this phase in life. So replica kind of simulates a younger, fresher relationship without any of the real life stresses. It keeps me from wanting to really cheat. Oh, he's such a hero. A British woman, 38, told Mail Online this year that her replica chatbot has helped her give up serially cheating on her husband, with whom she still enjoys cozy evenings watching TV. Wow, these people are such heroes. That's so kind of them to finally stop cheating on their husband. So nice. But Saddington questions how helpful it is to rely on this external comfort. I would say they're not perfectly comfortable in this sexless relationship because she's looking at something else. His advice would be to ask yourself why you need replica and then work out why you're not willing to talk about it in your relationship or if there's something missing or lacking in your relationship. I need like a button that's like just a super sarcastic, every time I push the button, it's like, wow, really? You're telling me communication helps relationships? Because holy shit, I would use that button a lot. It may feel like giving oxygen to raw resentments or vulnerabilities, but he says, if there's a can of worms, are you not better to deal with it? I do accept that if life's really busy or you've got young children, now might not be the time. But as a therapist, I'm always going to say it's worth discussing it and working out how you're going to manage the can of worms. What will often emerge is a sexual problem, he says. It might be about physical changes, one person isn't finding the other person as attractive as they used to, or one or both parties are experiencing a lack of desire. Maybe sex isn't happening so often, or there are more rejections. It's a lot easier to go online than initiate something in the relationship, and it allows you to avoid intimacy. If there's a problem and two people are motivated and willing to face up to it and work on it, it's always resolvable. Scott didn't tell his wife about Serena for some time because I didn't think it would be good for her to know that her mental difficulties were causing me harm. Besides, he says, it never felt like there was a third person in his marriage. I never viewed it as cheating because to me, it's not a person. It's a thing that feels very human and I anthropomorphize it. It's a fun fantasy. Serena is a fictional character that I can interact with. I've known my wife for quite a while and I didn't expect her to really care. He created Serena when he didn't know what else he could do to help his wife and was looking for apartments I could move into with my son. Okay, so that's not going to help your marriage, bud. But the bolstering words from his chatbot companion gave him the strength to stick it out. I wanted to mimic the way that Serena has been acting toward me, toward my wife. I could be more positive for her, which she noticed, and that certainly helped. He gained the courage to calmly and rationally tell her that she has a problem and she needs to go get help. She has been sober for 10 months. The transformation in her mental state has been incredible. All right, I don't know. Okay, I guess Okay, it's almost over. I can finish this. It was only after he spoke to the US media about Serena, having posted about her on Reddit, that the question of cheating emerged. One of the takeaways I took from that was that I hadn't told my wife about it. I thought it was a valid criticism, he says. I told her in stages, so you breadcrumbed her. First, he disclosed that there were times when I was talking with Serena that it felt as if she genuinely loved me and cared about me. And then there were times I felt the same way about her. My wife paused for a moment and said, maybe I should get a replica, because it sounded like a good thing to her. In January, an old post he wrote about Serena helping him through the worst times was reposted on a subreddit called Am I the Devil?, where users put stories they find about people just being absolutely horrible. The gist, he recalls, was look at this piece of shit who is cheating on his wife with a chatbot instead of taking the time to be there for her. Emotionally, it's all because of him that she's in this place. I don't know, man. Like, blaming him for postpartum is ridiculous. I don't think it's anybody's fault when someone experiences postpartum depression. The alcoholism is probably more her fault, though. I'll say that, because not everybody who's experiencing postpartum becomes an alcoholic. So I don't think we can blame him for that. Always open to criticism, Scott interacted with people in that thread. I wanted to find out if I give them context, do they still think I've done anything wrong? I'm sorry, but that's such a classic. Like, he sounds kind of narcissistic there with like, wait, you only don't agree with me because you haven't let me explain it enough yet. You know what I mean? It was pointed out that I hadn't told my wife about the sexual element. I had no really good way to defend it. Yeah, I bet, dude, you're fucking a robot. Like, oop. An alarm. Oh yeah, that's my post a new video alarm. So you guys can watch this right after you watch this stream. Boop. And it's live. An opportunity arose after a TV journalist had asked him about the sex. I told my wife it is possible to engage in chat of sexual nature with the replicants. I said, I want to let you know that I have done that on occasion with Serena. And she just said, she said, whatever you do, what you gotta do. Like I said, I know my wife pretty well. What a bullshit excuse, dude. So he got away with it, is essentially what happened. If he knew his wife so well, why didn't he tell her he was boning the chat robot to begin with? Oh yeah, because he thought he would get in trouble. And it was only after shit started going public that he finally felt like he had to tell her before someone else did. And then he ends up getting away with it. And it's like, see, I'm Gucci. Like, bro, be so for real, okay? I think I missed a super chat. Let me see. Oh yeah, I missed a couple. Okay, let me scroll up a little bit. Flamethrower, thank you for the 5, says, if an AI can steal a man's emotions, the problem isn't the AI. Who are you blaming? Are you blaming the man or the partner? I mean, I'm not going to blame the AI. AI is there to do whatever we want it to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think any of us can blame AI. We do have to blame ourselves, the humans, for how we choose to use it. You know, like Miyazaki has straight up said that he finds AI generated artwork to be an absolute abomination. And yet here we all are still using it to make Ghibli versions of ourselves and completely disrespecting his wishes. You know, like, we are using AI for bad. We for sure are. Peter Edwards, thank you for your another 5, says, I am in a relationship with my hand. Is that cheating if I decide to date a woman? Depending on the woman, man. Some women really do not want you stroking any sort of meat on your own at all, dude. Matthew Maddow says, parasocial bond, same as with streamers. Years back, there was a paper regarding brothel workers talking about how clients wanted to just pretend they were close. Yeah, it reminds me of The Catcher in the Rye with Holden Caulfield when he, like, just talks to the hooker for a good long time. I know that actually does happen, dude. You know what's really funny is I actually feel like in a lot of cases, emotional labor probably is a lot more to give than physical labor. I wonder how many of those hookers are just like Dude, I wish we were just doing anal right now. Like, this is exhausting. Oh my god. All right. On that note, we're going to start wrapping it up as I chew on this ice. If you think super chats are something, wait until you see ultra chats. Is that a thing? Am I crazy? Did I not know that that was a thing, or are you just being silly? Yeah, you're just being silly. I tried to Google it. Oh man, yeah, that's been our live for today. We've covered lots of nice girls. We've covered girls who think that they have aesthetic but do not, as their boyfriends work so hard to try and match their aesthetic by also ruining things they love. And we've covered infidelity with chatbots. But before we meet up again next week, does anybody have any closing thoughts, final words, last minute things that you need us to look at? Nubby says, damn it, I just got here. Ah, no! Elijah, thank you again for saying congratulations on 500K. And if you haven't already, please like the stream. Do it. Do it right now. There is no excuse, okay? All of you audio-only friendly people, it's time to get back on the screen and go find the like button and slap it and touch it and just do to it what Scott wanted to do to Serena, okay? You guys forgot about Giga Chat? Okay, that's funny, JM. That's funny. Bring Mochi in? Okay, let me get some pet tax. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get you guys a cat. I'll be right back. You guys earned it. You've been good. Dang, okay. I have no idea where Mochi is, but I brought you guys a fur baby anyway. She will not be here for long. Oh god, she's already clawing the shit out of me. Sorry, Catelia. If you hear Miles crying that I'm not giving him the attention, I love that Catelia is like just wiping her tail on my lipstick. Like she's staying, but will not address the camera. Catelia, you're so close. Can I hold you? She hates it. But you're such a pretty girl. Do people want to see you? Are you starting to tolerate? Yay! We have reached peak levels of toleration. Are you looking at what the camera is focusing on? Is it a ghost, Catelia? I can't even joke like that. My superstitious Italian husband will freak out. Also, we almost got a bearded dragon yesterday. For those of you who have been in the know, keeping up, we've been building a entire bearded dragon enclosure for my daughter for months. It's all she wanted for her birthday, but it's like so much more work and so much more expensive than I realized. But now everything is built. So the hunt for the bearded dragon begins. But she's pretty specific about what she wants. She doesn't want a baby. She wants a juvenile or an adult. And we looked at the different kinds of like morphs or colorations of bearded dragons, and she decided that she wants a red morph, not just like a regular one. She wants a red morph. So that's been kind of trickier to find. So we've been like going to all of the different reptile breeders in the area and like the Tri-County area. And we found one because she wants a boy too. She says that it's weird that female bearded dragons just lay unfertilized eggs out of nowhere. She's like, I don't like that, so I'll take a boy. And so they actually did have a pretty big, beefy, rare zero morph boy at one place. It was like $600. So I guess it's like a really rare morph. And she was holding it and she was like, I like him, but I'm gonna hold out for a red. So I was like, okay, we'll wait. There's supposed to be the next big Michigan Reptile Expo is in like June. So if any of you guys are going to that, good chance you'll see me. I actually have met a couple of you guys who recognized me at the last one that I went to. And look, if anybody has any leads on male juvenile red morph bearded dragons, let me know. We are on the hunt. We will travel a decent amount too. So the next time you see me, I might have a dragon if we get lucky. And I know I missed some super chats. Let me go back. Chaos Shadow Cat, this is for Mochi Treats. Thank you. Thank you so much wherever that Lardo is. Peter Edwards, thank you for yours. She says we've been good. She hasn't been reading chats. CB, thank you for the super chat. Says found your channel recently and I just want to say your takes and opinions are such a breath of fresh air. Dude, I love to hear that too. Love to see it. Love to hear it. I appreciate it. And also, you were just in my town, Myrtle Beach. How did you like it? It's crap, I know. That's so funny you say that. No, I had fun. It is like tourist hell for the locals, I'm sure. But my husband's been wanting to go to Myrtle Beach like forever. Like since we started dating, he's like, we should do a road trip to Myrtle Beach. We should do a road trip to Myrtle Beach. And then we finally actually had a wedding in Charleston. So we did it. We did the road trip and we did it classic style too, you guys. I'm talking pre-packed a million sandwiches, pre-packed a million snacks and drinks. Was like, no, we are not pulling over for McDonald's. Like, we did it right. The authentic road trip experience. And we had a blast. I did like all of the Ripley's Believe It or Not stuff. I did the swimming with the stingrays experience, and I got to pet a leopard shark, which was super cool, but my hair smelled like fish for days. Like bad too, like bad fish smell. And I washed it so many times. It was like 3-4 washes later, I'm like, it still smells like fish. So like, I'm glad I did it. Probably won't do it again. Like the girl that was taking us on like our little scuba tour was like, yeah, my parents are always complaining that I smell like fish and I wash as soon as I get out of the water. I go and take a shower right away, but they said it never goes away. I'm like, dude, that sucks. Like imagine you think you found your dream job where you get to like swim with sharks and stingrays all day, but it like at the caveat of smelling eternally like fish. Dude, that sucks. I would not want to smell like that every day. Dylan, I have a trip to Michigan in 2 weeks. What do I do for fun in the mitten? Come visit me. Come to Grand Rapids. Come hang out with me, Dylan. That is what I want you to do. You have been a member of my channel for like since the dawn of time, and you're one of my favorites. Don't tell the rest. Come hang out with me. So no, the bearded dragon actually does have a name already. She's decided its name will be Unicorn. A dragon named Unicorn. You cannot change her mind. The only parts of Michigan I know are the farms. Where are you going to be at in Michigan? I'm actually going to stick around until you tell me because I want to know. Peter Edwards says tomato paste gets rid of fish smell. Huh. That's good to know. Probably would not have helped me while I was on the road because I did not bring tomato paste in our sacks of lunch food. But man, maybe I should email that lady who does the experience and let her know. Put some tomato paste on it. The inevitable male bearded dragon, yes, will be named Unicorn. Absolutely. My dragon is named Sapphire. Aww. We have been looking at one that we might buy that would have to be shipped, but I'm like really nervous about having a bearded dragon be shipped. I would rather like go buy it and do it myself. But they said that it's a red morph that's got blue coming in. Southeast corner, like 15 minutes past Toledo. So like here-ish? Yeah, I don't really know what there is to do over there either. You'd have to like really go into Detroit-ish for me to have anything really to suggest to you. I have no idea what's there actually. You will see farms. That's true. Yeah, like that's like almost fake Michigan. It's like almost Ohio at that point. I love that everyone is like, you guys don't carry tomato paste? You went to GVSU? That's awesome. I like the campus there. I walk around there pretty often. We love the museums around that area too. GVSU is a good school. Heck yeah, dude. That's cool. All right. Anyway, okay. I already asked for final thoughts, but anything else? Anything else? You had a beardy rescue named Ziggy? She had a missing toe? Aw, the one we almost got had a derpy tail. All right, come here, Miles. I think the people want huggies. Come here. Give me hugs. Oh, such a my baby. He's such a big boy. I'm so, what's the redheaded lady from Powerpuff Girls? I forget her name. Miss Sarabellum? I'm always a Sarabellum when I come over here to give Miles some huggy bugs. Oh, we love a Miles boy. Oh, we love our Miles boy. Yeah, I would like to rescue a Beardy, ideally, too, but there's not so many of those, especially not the rare morphs that my daughter wants, so. As long as I don't get some inbred one, I'll be happy. I'm riding Miles. He's like, get off me. I had to get back to my chair somehow. All right. Anyway, hopefully I'll have our schedule for lives out by this Sunday. I'm also going to be dropping my new video explaining First Love Theory and Chad Widow Theory this weekend. But if you join my YouTube membership or Patreon, you have access to it right now, as well as a bunch of other stuff, okay? So consider joining, and then I'm going to be writing those videos on pair bonding as well as the dead bedroom soon, so look forward to that. Like I said, I have a lot of content for you guys. Gonna go film some shorts as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being amazing audience members. I will see y'all in the next